All right, so the timer may have run out, but the referee still isn't here, so we're gonna kind of chill out for a while. Not sure how long it's gonna be, so I can't really throw up a timer or give you guys an estimate on when it's gonna be. So yeah. It's gonna be a hot match. Thermometer says 89 degrees in here. Yeah, the word on the grapevine is the referee was caught in traffic just a little bit, so she's going to be 5 to 10 minutes late. So far it's 5:03. Looks like before the match starts, our line judges are gonna be Keith Eisler and Luke Good. For their information on the referee, I believe our referee is Summer DuPont. I'm willing to put some money, not a lot of money, just a little money on that. We're going to see just how long it takes for this game to get rocking and rolling. Who's to say where the wind goes, where the road goes? Both of those things at the same time. You guys want to hear a joke in the meantime? I remember my grandfather's last words before he kicked the bucket. It was, hey, how far do you think I can kick the bucket? All right, the referee's here. Let's see just how I gotta get a few things running. All right. Okie dokie. I would come up with a pregame analysis, but I know nothing about the Mt.Carmel Cougars from previous matches. I should have probably read up on it beforehand, but sadly I did not. It does look like the captains are meeting up with the referee to determine a few things. Getting all the sorts and strings all gathered up, tied together before we start off the junior varsity matchup. We're going to start with the junior varsity. It's going to be a best-of-3 series. If it's tied 1-1 after the 2 games, it will go into a game 3. That will be a best-of-15. Win by 2, obviously. And then following those matches will be the varsity facing off against one another in a best-of-5 series. If the series is tied 2 apiece, we'll go into a game 5. That'll be also a best-of-15. Win by 2. I would quite like to have a mic down there, but sadly I wasn't quite able to. We'll get the show rolling here after a little while. Looks like they're ready to roll. Or maybe not. Getting all the scoreboard sorted out. I don't know how to English. Cougars are fired up to be here today. All right, hello, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the matchup between the Junior Varsity Slippery Rock Panthers and the Junior Varsity Mt.Carmel Cougars. It's once again the battle of the cast to start us off in the season, second home game. Referee being Summer DuPont. Line judge on the left will be Luke Good, and line judge on the right will be Keith Eisler. Line judge is making sure everyone correct is out there on the court. Everyone's in the right spot, and everyone has a spot for the right. Or something like that. Looks like we're ready to get rocking and rolling. Sadie's going to serve this one up. Or Ashley's going to serve this one up for us. Back line, it goes off. Yeah, let me mute my phone. That did go off Clara and out of bounds. First point does go to Mt.Carmel. Also another service being called inbounds. Another point for Mt.Carmel. Ashley with her third service, met by Teresa going forward. Brooke, final hit made by Ellie. Not able to get that one up and over the net. Come on, there we go. I'm kind of running the scoreboard live, so my hands are very much taken. Ashley with the service. Teresa getting her first hit on that one. No one able to get that secondary, and another point goes to Mt.Carmel. Score is now 4-0. Ashley with the service. Goes up, over. Teresa down on the ground with that one. Bailey not able to get that one up over top the net. Results in it being a 5-0 game. Ashley once again serving this one up. Ellie getting this one forward. Bailey over to Sicily, finishing off the play. Pump goes up and over top the net. Sicily throwing that one bright over back into Mt.Carmel's zone. Set goes up. It looks like Aaliyah able to get that one up and over. Clara gets a hand on that one, but it does go down on the Panthers side, resulting in 6-0 being the score. Ashley's service goes up and over. Teresa with the first hit, goes on the right side. Bailey diving for that one, keeps that one going. Set goes up, and Faith able to send that one over. Cicely throwing that one over. Faith diving for it, not able to get down underneath it. Panthers now have a 1-6 game on their hands. Looks like Brooks going to be serving this one up for the Panthers. Panthers only down by 5. Goes up, over. Getting a hand on that one is Aaliyah, but not able to get into an effective position of play. It is now a 2-6 game. Brooke with the service. Faith getting the first hit, gets that one over. Bailey sending that one right back over into the kitchen of the Cougars. Going off Teresa and out of bounds. Hit from Aaliyah, able to get the Cougars their 7th point of the match. Here's Faith with the service. Brooke getting a secondary hit. Clara not able to make the third. Panthers now down 8-2. Timeout for the Panthers. Well, now that we're live, I got to fill this space. Looks like the Panthers not quite able to return those services. If they can get down ready for that one, get it back to the setter, Bailey, I think they might have a pretty good shot at making a play out of it. Or they could go with a tactic, just throw it over and hope the other team chokes on it, which sometimes does seem to be deemed efficient when dealing with a junior varsity team. Once you get to the varsity level and beyond, that really doesn't happen, because if you give it to them easy, they'll come back with a lot of fire in their hand. You'll think they had some surgery done to their arm that made their arms into cannons. At least that's how it is with most teams. Each team seems to have a heavy hitter. Let's keep our eye out for which that might be. The heavy hitter always seems to be the one with the most confidence out on the court. All right, we're back in the action. Looks like Faith is going to serve this one up for Mt.Carmel. Gets that one up and over. Cicely with the first hit. Secondary hit by Brooke. Going towards the back line. Clara not able to finish off the play. Goes down on the Panther side. It is now 9-2. Faith with the service, going down with that one. Clara over to Cicely. Bailey with final hit, gets that one up and over. Ellie forward to Bailey, throwing that one over. 14 over to 17, gets that one up over the net. Diving for that one, Ellie not able to get underneath that one. It is now 10 for the Cougars and 2 for the Panthers. Here's Faith with another service. Goes up, line drive. Clara able to get underneath that one. Cicely over to Bailey. Bailey back sets that one up and over the net. Number 11 sending that one right back for the Cougars. First hit, second hit, third hit goes over and gone. Looks like 43 forward as number 17 goes on to the right side. Number 4 too close to the net for comfort. Decides to leave that one go. It is now 3-10. Panthers down by 7. Cicely with the service, hits that top part of the net and goes down to the floor. Panthers at 3. And the Cougars at 11. Number 17 with the service, getting down with that one. Clara, Bailey diving for that one, not able to get a hand on that one. Now it is 12-3. Sorry. 17 service. Met up by Clara going forward. Bailey diving for that one, not able to get underneath it in time. It is now 3-13. 10 points separate these two teams. Did it go? There we go. Service by number 17. Good call by Ellie. Keeping an eye out for it being out of bounds. Able to make it an effective call. 4 for the Panthers and 13 for the Cougars. And call a substitution. Monica is going to come onto the court. And it looks like Clara is going to take a seat on the bench. Bailey's service is met by number 43. Diving for that one is number 14, not able to get underneath it in time. 5 for the Panthers and 13 for Mount Carmel. Here's Bailey with the service, hits that net and goes down to the floor. See if the Panthers can hold on to this game. Able to gain a little bit of ground that series of plays. Number 4 service does go off the Panthers and out of bounds. 5:15 is the score. Number 4 service is first hit by Brooke. Diving for that one is Bailey, not able to get underneath it. Is 16 for the Cougars and 5 for the Panthers. Number 4 gets this one up and over. Goes off Ellie, hits Bailey in the knee. It goes down to the floor on the Panther side. Score is now 5-17. Number 4 goes up, goes over, diving for that one. Tress able to keep that one in bounds. Number 11, a little bit of a miss hit on that one. Gives the Panthers their 6th point of the match. 6-17 is the score. 11 points separate these two teams right now. Here's Ellie going to dish this one up. Ellie's called for stepping on the line. The Cougars do get an 18th point of the match. 18-6 is the score. Looks like number 11 is going to get the chance to serve this one up. Is up over. Brooke able to defend that one. Faith getting this one up. 14 back over to Faith. Faith comes down with a hammer. Able to get that one down. Cicely with the first hit. Ellie with the secondary. And Monica able to send that one over the netting. Faith goes into the middle. Number 14 gets that secondary hit. The back line. 4 able to spike that one down. Is in bounds. And gives the Cougars their 19th point of the match. Panthers at 6. The Cougars at 19. Diving for that one. Brooks able to keep that one alive. 43 gets this one up under the net. Monica sends that one back into the kitchen of the Cougars. Going down for it is number 11, but hesitates in the process, giving the Panthers their 7th point of the match. 7 for the Panthers, 19 for the Cougars. Teresa with the service here for the Panthers. Service goes up and over. Number 4 with first hit. Looks like number 14 goes back to number 43. 43 sending that one over. Ellie getting this one over to the side. Monica with the secondary hit. Brooke able to bump that one, but does not get enough elevation on that one. Hits that middle section of the net. It is now 20-7. Panthers are down by 13. 14 service does hit the net, and the Panthers now hit the 8-point marker. Claire's going to go back into the match. It looks like Monica's going to take a seat on the bench for the girls in blue. Claire's going to be able to serve this one up. See what she has in store for us. Gets this one up. Faith able to get the first hit, 17 with the secondary, and the final hit, diving for that one. Number 4 able to send that one home. Clara gets that one forward to the front line. Bailey able to finish off that play. Number 4 getting this one up, diving for that one. Number 3 keeps it alive. Number 4 sending it up, hits the ceiling, and goes down to the floor. Panthers now at 9, and the Cougars at 20. Here's Clara with the service. Goes up. Able to get a hand on that one. Number 43 diving for that one. Number 14 keeps that one alive. Diving once again. 17 not able to get underneath it. Panthers now close that lead down to 10 points. 10-20 is the score. Getting underneath that one. Number 4 goes forward, and number 17 back over. We're going to call number 17 on a double hit. Panthers now at 11, and the Cougars at 20. Here's Clara with the service. Gets this one up and over. Number 14 gets that one, hits it into the middle. Miscommunication between one another on the Cougars side gives the Panthers their 12th point as the ball hits the ground in their kitchen. Clara with another service. Nobody there to touch that one. It is an ace for Clara. Mt.Carmel does call a timeout. 13 for the Panthers and 20 for Mount Carmel. Seems to be the Panthers are starting to pull this one back out of the grave after it seemed to be buried. Only 7 points separate the two teams. Panthers are sticking together one another. Seems like it was just a rocky start in the road, but it seems to be smoothing out now for them. The Cougars, just a few too many miscommunications. If they communicate with one another, a few of those points would not have gone down on their side. It does seem to me that number 14 is agile enough to able to get down underneath the ball when need be. Kind of like a somewhat of a libero. Seems like Mount Carmel does have solid services, though. That's the one thing that does stick out to me. Clara here to start us back off, ready to rock and roll. Gets this one up and over. 11 goes over to 43. 43 sending this one over to number 3. Sends that one home. Clara diving for that one. Bailey able to hit that one up and over. Number 43, he keeps that one alive. 17 goes over to 43. 43 goes up and over. Being able to get underneath that one is Hendrick, but Bailey not able to finish that one off, giving the Mount Carmel Cougars their 21st point of the match. Panthers at 13. Sorry if I seem to fumble around with the camera a bit. There's a few wires sticking out of it that I'm not used to being there, so I do bump them occasionally. Here's 43 with the service. Gets this one up and over. Ellie, miscommunication between the Bailey girls, and it goes down on their side. 22 for the Panthers and 13 for the Cougars. .43 in green able to serve this one up. Teresa getting this one forward. Bailey able to dump that one back over. Number 14 with the first hit. Number 17 with the secondary hit. It sets up number 3. Number 3 bumps this one over for Mount Carmel. Sicily sending that one back over into the kitchen. Number 43 sending that one against the top front net. 17 tries to take a swing at that one. Number 3 not able to finish off the play for the girls in green. Gives the Panthers their 14th point of the match. 14-22 is the score. And here's Brooke Bailey with service. Sky high service. Number 14 gets underneath that one. 17 goes back over to 14. Spikes that one over. Diving for that one. Teresa keeps that one alive. Bailey able to one-hand that one over top the net. 14, 17 over to number 4. 4 sends that one up and over. Ellie forward to Bailey. Bailey tips that one over top the net. Number 4 just hits that one, goes out of bounds. Panthers now at 15, and the Cougars at 22. Here's Brooke with another service. Number 3 with the first hit, number 17 with the secondary hit, and the final hit made by number 14, getting that one forward. Diving for that one. Teresa keeps it alive. Clara carries it, though, and it is now 15-23. Panthers hanging on just by the skin of their teeth. The Cougars just 2 points from closing this first match of a best-of-3 out. Number 3 sends that one over. Clara with the first hit, a little high. Brooke sends that one back. Final hit by Clara, not able to get enough mustard on the hot dog to send it over. It is now match point for Mount Carmel. Here's Faith with the service. Gets that one up and over. Diving for that one. Sicily not able to get underneath that one. And that is the end of the first match. 15 for the Panthers and 25 for Mount Carmel. We'll be right back after this short intermission. Looks like we're ready to get back in the action once the referee is ready. The last matchup between the Cougars and the Panthers started off with the Cougars getting an early lead, and the Panthers slowly retaliating and coming back, but not quite able to finish off the plays, not quite able to make that full trek back up that mountain. Falling short, I believe the score is 15-25 in favor of Mt.Carmel. Looks like the referee's ready to rock and roll once again in the match. Here we go. We have, Clara here with starts off with the service, goes down, diving for that one. Number 14 keeps that one alive. Giuliani getting this one forward, dumping this one off. Oh, I forgot her name. Oh no, I'm the worst person ever. Alyssa. All right, I got it. Panthers now have a 1-0 lead. Oh no, all right, there we go. I keep forgetting I'm running the scoreboard. Clara able to get that one up and over. 45 gets the first hand on that one, goes up and over. Ellie diving for that one. Alyssa able to finish off the play. Number 3 hits that one into no man's land. Number 45 makes an effort for that one, but the Panthers take a 2-0 lead early on in the series. Here's Clara getting ready to serve this one up for the Panthers. Service goes up and over. Number 45 gets the first hand on that one. 17 hits that one up, but goes into the netting. Not able to clear that border patrol in between the two teams. Here's Clara with the service, goes down. Number 14 hits that one forward. Number 17 gets a hand on that one, but once again, not able to get that one over the Goliath between the two. The score is now 4 for the Panthers and 0 for the Cougars. Clara with the service gets this one up and over. Number 11 sending this one forward. 17 gets a hand on that one, gets that one up in the air. Number 45 sends that one home. Katrina there to hit that one straight up. Alyssa gets that one over to Giuliana. Giuliana sends that one over and down. Number 14 keeps that one alive. 17 with a secondary hit. Faith able to finish that one off for the Cougars. Alyssa sends this one up. Ellie comes over, hits that one court wide. 43 with the first hit. Number 11 able to finish that one off. Alyssa throwing that one back over into the court of the Cougars. 17 able to get a hand on that one, goes off the net. Faith not able to get a hand on that one. 5-0 is now the score. Panthers are leading. There's Clara with the service, gets this one up and over. 14 sends this one into the front row. Number 17 goes that one over to 43. 43 hammers that one, and not able to clear that brick wall that seems to be cemented in the bisector between these two halves of the court. Clara's service is met by number 11. Number 45 gets this one up and over, gets that one over to the Panther side. Ellie gets this one into the middle. Giuliana gets a hand on that one, not letting it go down without a fight, but is out of bounds on the other side, getting the Cougars on the board for the first time this match. 6 for the Panthers and 1 for the Cougars. Let's see if the Cougars are able to gain some traction from this little bit of this inch that they've been given this match. Service does go up and over. Katrina getting a hand on that one. Monica with the final hit, not able to finish that one off. Cougars now at 2, and the Panthers at 6. Number 43 with the service. Katrina gets the first hit. Secondary hit by Alyssa. Gets that one over to Giuliana. Giuliana sending this one up and over just barely enough. Faith gets the first hit. 45 with the secondary and 17 able to tip this one over to Katrina. Katrina keeps this one up for the Panthers. Giuliana finishes off the play. Number 43 getting this one forward. Number 17 back over to number 14. 14 backline spikes. Hits that one over, but not in bounds. 7 for the Panthers and 2 for the Cougars. Here's Ellie Hendrick with the service. Up and over, hits the ground without contest. It is now 8 for the Panthers and 2 for the Cougars. Ellie with the service once again. Number 3 able to get a hand on that one. 17 sends that one back over. 14 hits that one over top the net. Here's Giuliani getting this one into the middle. Alyssa back sets over to Monica. Monica hammers that one over. Number 43 keeps that one alive. 17 with the secondary hit. Number 14 able to finish that one off for the girls in green. Here's Clara hitting that one straight up. Alyssa getting that one over. Monica mishits that one and goes down on the Panther side. Score is now 8 for the Panthers and 3 for Mt.Carmel. Here's Faith with the service. Gets that one up and over. Handled by Clara. Secondary hit. Able to finish that one off is Alyssa. 17 not able to make that one up over top the net. It is now 9 for the Panthers and 3 for Mount Carmel Cougars. Here's Alyssa with the service. Gets this one up and over. Number 45 gets a hand on that one, not able to control that one. Number 3 helps her out. Number 45 with the final hit goes up. Does not hit the net ceiling and goes down. Juliana able to get a hand on that one. Katrina with the secondary. Juliana once again diving for that one. Not able to handle that one for the Cougars. Now at 4 and the Panthers at 9. 5 points still separate these two teams. Looks like number 17 is going to serve this one up for the Cougars. Takes your time, gets that concentration, sends that one over. Juliana gets a hand on that one a little high. Alyssa hits that one up just about straight above that netting. Katrina tries for that one as well as 14 does. Gives that. Does land on the Panther side, though, being deemed the Cougars' point. 9 for the Panthers and 5 for the Cougars. 4-point differential between these two teams at this point in time. Here's 17 with that service. Good call by Clara, being out of bounds. Looks like you can put a soccer ball between that ball and the line. Scoreboard up on the wall says, all right, never mind. It does say the same as on your screen right now. 10 for the Panthers, 5 for the Cougars. Here's Juliana Toth with the service. Getting a hand on that one, 45. Not able to keep that one up in the air. It is now 11 for the Panthers and 5 for the Cougars. Here's Juliana with the service. Since this one up and over. Number 3 able to get a hand on that one. 45 calls this one secondary hit. Number 14 finishes off the play. Miscommunication between Ellie and Juliana gives the Cougars their 6th point of the match. Looks like number 45 is going to be serving this one up. First time we're going to see her serve up tonight. Let's see how she does. 11-6 being the score. Alyssa able to return that one. 14 sends that one right back in. Goes against the net. Katrina tries to keep that one alive with the help of Monica, but not able to do so. It is now 7-11 in favor of the Panthers. Number 45 with the service. Alyssa gets a hand on that one. Katrina sends this one up over top the net. Number 14 able to get a hand on that one. Goes over to number 11 with the secondary hit. Number 14 able to finish off that play for Mount Carmel. Alyssa getting this one forward to the front line. Katrina with the secondary hit. Monica able to finish that one off for the girls in blue. Goes over and out of bounds is the call. Cougars now at 8 and the Panthers at 11. 45 with another service. Oh, my bad. Timeout for the Panthers. 11-8 is the score. It seems to be that these two teams are starting to get it back together. It seems like the Panthers were at a slow start for the first game, and Mount Carmel is just hanging in there, steady pace. Not really going anywhere. Might be down in a match, but they're not out. Seems like both teams do have their strong points, do have their weaknesses. Both teams pretty solid when it comes to serving. Both teams have a pretty solid setter. Number 14 has started sticking out to me as their main go-to hitter. She's able to quite dig it out any nook and cranny you could possibly imagine on that court, as well as she can hit it like nobody's business. Here's Abby with the service. It's 11-8. Let's get this show back on the road. Alyssa gets the first hit. Katrina with the secondary punches that one up over top the net. Luke Good does call this one inbounds. It is now 12-8. Panthers are in the lead by 4. Ball does just try to make a run for it. Don't worry. We probably got a net around it. We caught it in the safari. It's born to be wild, so we've tried to tame it, but it does have those instances where it just wants to run. Goes off 17 and out of bounds. Monica has a pretty nice service there. 13 for the Panthers and 8 for the Cougars. Monica's service goes up and over. Number 3 gets a hand on that one. Ashley with the secondary hit. No, my bad. That's not Ashley. Katrina hits that one back. Alyssa gets a hand on that one. Ashley not able to get down underneath that one, gives the Panthers their 14th point of the match. We might be going to a game 3. But this game's not quite over yet. If the Panthers do win this one, we will go to a game 3, best of 15, win by 2. Monica with the service. Getting a hand on that one, Abby gets that one forward. Final hit is made by Lexi. Alyssa gets that one forward. Katrina digs that one out of the ground. She might be a grave robber, we don't know. Beautiful one-arm dig. Here's Monica with another service. 15 for the Panthers, 8 for the Cougars. Gets this one up and over, diving for that one. Abby not able to quite get underneath that in time. It is an ace for the Panthers. 16 for the Panthers, 8 for the Cougars. Timeout by the girls in green. Seems to be the Cougars are letting this one slip a little bit, but their coach is going to try to get a strategy out there, get them tighten up on a few certain key spots. If I was in the Panther circle, I would be telling them to not give up, to not let down your guard by any chance, any stretch of the imagination. Just because it's a 16-8 game does not mean that the Cougars are down and out for the count quite yet. The Panthers were down a hefty sum in that first match, and they did come back and make it a closer ball game. It was 15-25, but it wasn't close enough for the Panthers to come back. They did have a stretch where the points did go 9 for the Panthers and 3 for the Cougars. So hot streaks are a thing in this match. Let's see what happens. Looks like we're ready to rock and roll once again. Monica here with the service for the Panthers. Hits this one up, hits that netting, and goes down to the ground, giving the Cougars their 9th point of the match. Sometimes timeouts are just used by the coach to try to break up a hot streak that the other team does have. First hit by Ellie Hendricks. Katrina getting this one back over to Miss Hendricks herself. Abby getting the first hit. Secondary hit is by Lexi, getting this one over. Number 43 spikes that one down. Monica hits this one into the middle. Katrina hits this one back over to Clara, hits that over. Abby with the first hit. Lexi with the secondary, and Faith finishes off the play for the girls in green. Juliana with the first. Katrina saves that one. Clara hits that one over the net and scores! Holy mackerel! I'll eat my hat for that. That was pretty great. Save that one off the net. Katrina with the service. First hit by Abby, gets this one over. Lexi keeps that one alive. Final hit made by number 11, Sadie. Not able to finish off that play. Panthers now at 18. And the Cougars are at 9. My voice didn't crack. Your voice cracked. I don't know what you're talking about. Here's Katrina with the service. Service goes up, goes off Faith. Hit made by Shelby, and the final hit made by Lexi. Clara able to finish that one off. Faith over to Lexi, back over to Faith. Faith hammers that one into the next county, is out of bounds. Panthers now at 19, and the Cougars at 9. 10 points separate these two teams at this point in time. Clara with the service. Faith gets the first hand. Lexi able to get the secondary hit. Back over to Faith. Faith hammers this one over. Once again, Juliana gets a hand on that one. Does not keep that one upright. Kind of sends that one down into the floorboards, giving the Cougars their 10th point of the match. 19-10 is the score. Here's Lexi with the service. Gets this one up and over. Her name's slipping my mind. Alyssa sends this one over and home. Lexi able to get a hand on that one. Trying to get down for that one is number 17. My phone went to sleep, sorry. They're going to call a substitution for the Cougars. Number 4 is going to come back in from the first match to replace, I believe that to be number 17, Shelby. Here's Clara to serve it. 20-10 is the score. Number 11 hitting this one over. Aaliyah hits that one up, hits the top of the net, goes over Faith's head and down to the floor. It is now 21-10. Sorry, I must have missed that last point. Here's Clara with the service. Hits this one up and over. Number 43 not able to quite make an effective play. 22 for the Panthers and 10 for the Cougars. Going to call a substitution. Madison Bailey's going to come onto the court, and it looks like Ellie Hendricks is going to take the bench on the Panther side. Here's Clara with the service. Gets this one up and over. Miscommunication between Lexi and Sadie, and it's going to be a Panther point. 2 points from closing out the second game, throwing this into a third game out of this best-of-3 series. Service by Clara is met by Alexi getting this one forward to the right side. It looks to me that that Aaliyah did call that one. Ashley, hearing that one, kind of backed off. But then because the ball was directly under Ashley, Aaliyah did hesitate on that one. Match point for the Panthers. Here's Clara with the service. Getting the first hit is Abby. Aaliyah over to Faith. Faith hammers that one down. Monica with the first hit, and Bailey able to finish that one off. Faith gets a secondary hit. Final hit made by Lexi, getting this one up and over. I keep wanting to call her Morgan, but no, it's Monica. Second two, called for a double hit is Aaliyah, and the final score of this second match is 25 for the Panthers and 10 for the Mount Carmel Cougars. We're going to be sending this one into a game 3. We'll be right back after this very, very short intermission so I can do a few things with the scoreboard. Looks like they're ready to... Oh, my bad. Just out of force of habit, I guess. How long was that chant? I actually kind of want to know that information. All right, let's see how these two teams go head-to-head in a best-of-15 game. Whoever wins this one takes home the pride and the bragging rights of defeating the other team. Looks like Mount Carmel's going to get the first service. And Ashley's going to be the one to do it. All right, here we go. Game 3. Juliana gets a hand on that one, but not able to keep that one upright. Gives the Cougars their first point of the match. Only 14 more, and then the game's over. The series is over even, and we'll see the varsity teams face off one another. Ashley with the service. Katrina gets underneath that one, gets that one up to the setter. Alyssa gets that one over to Bailey. Bailey hammers that one over, diving for that one. Ashley keeps that one alive. Aaliyah gets that one over. Brooke over to Alyssa. Aaliyah able to hit that one up and over. You're trying to swing at that one. Clara not able to get a hand on that one. 2-0 is the score. Panthers at 0. Cougars at 2. Here's Ashley with the service, gets this one up and over. Katrina gets a hand on that one, goes forward. Alyssa tips that one over top the net. Diving for that one, Aaliyah not able to handle that one. 2-1 is now the score. Here's Clara with the service for the Panthers. Panthers only down by 1. Lexi getting this one forward. Secondary hit by number 17. Aaliyah able to finish that one off. Bailey getting this one over to Alyssa. Alyssa tips that one over, goes out 14. Ashley tries to keep that one going. But the result of the play is 2 for the Panthers and 2 for the Cougars. Tied up like a hog in a rodeo. Clara with the service. Lexi able to throw this one over. It does a little bit too far, not quite high enough. Gives the Panthers their 3rd point of the match. 3-2 is the score. Seems to be whoever starts off with the hot streak does in fact take the game. So let's see who starts off hotter. Lexi gets the first hit. Faith with the secondary hit, able to finish off that play. Katrina gets a hand on that one for the Panthers. Alyssa throws that one up over top the net. Shot goes down. Clara tries to spike that one back, but not able to smack it back. 3-3 is now the score. Here's Faith with the service. Handled up by Katrina, throws that one back over top the net. Aaliyah with the first hit, number 17 with the secondary hit. Aaliyah able to finish off that play. Katrina gets the first hit, goes up forward to Alyssa. Alyssa throwing that one over to Bailey. Bailey misses the hit on that one. Gives the Cougars their first, I guess it wouldn't be their first lead of the game. Started off with the lead. I got you. I know things. Faith with the service gets this one over. Bailey letting that one go. Katrina diving for it. Gives the Cougars 5 and the Panthers 3. There's a service for Faith. Katrina getting that one. Aaliyah over to Shelby. Back over to Aaliyah, my bad. Madison with the first hit. Alyssa going back to Katrina with the final hit on the play. Faith gets a hand on that one, goes against the net. Aaliyah does dive for it, but not able to make an effective play. 4 for the Panthers and 5 for the Cougars. It's Madison Bailey with the service. Gets this one up and over. Able to get a hand on that one. Faith gets that one forward. Aaliyah over to Shelby. Shelby hammers that one over. Getting a hand on that one. Leah. Monica trying to get a secondary hit on that one, but not quite able to do so. We're going to call a substitution. Looks like Abby's going to come into the fray. And Ashley's going to take a seat on the bench for the Cougars. 4 for the Panthers, 6 for the Cougars. Abby was tying her shoe off this camera. That's the reason of the holdup. There's a service by, her name just slipped my mind. Monica hammers this one over for the girls in blue. Getting a hand on that one, Abby. No one able to get that secondary hit. Panthers bringing this back within 1. 5-6 is the score. Here's Alyssa with the service, gets this one up and over. Shelby getting a hand on that one, goes out beside the net, giving the Panthers their 6th point of the match. Second time this one's been tied up. Let's see who wants that lead a little bit more. Keep in mind this is a best of 15. First one to get a 2-point lead after that point in time. LA spikes that one into the top of the net, goes out of bounds. Panthers now at 7, and the Cougars at 6. Two teams are just trading leads. Getting a hand on this one, Aaliyah. Lexi able to finish off the play. Is inbounds. Once again, game is tied up, 7 apiece. Here's Aaliyah with the service. Letting that one go. It looked to be 2 feet out of bounds. So there's kind of a glare that we can't really help except close the door, and it is well over 85 degrees in here. Juliana with the first hit. Shelby gets the first hit on the green side. Getting a hit over top the net is Lexi. Point for the Cougars. 8-8 is the score. Here's Sadie with the service, gets this one up and over. Getting a hand on that one, Clara. Katrina with the secondary, and the final hit made by Alyssa. Faith keeps this one alive. Secondary hit by Shelby. Aaliyah not quite able to get a solid hit on that one. Panthers now at 9, and the Cougars at 8. Here's Monica with the service for the girls in blue. Shelby calls this one. Lexi with the secondary hit, and Faith gets that final third hit to finish off the play. Alyssa gets the first hit. Juliana hits this one to the front row. Katrina finishes off the play for the Panthers. Faith with the first. Lexi with the second. Back row spike by Aaliyah. Does not able to get enough mustard on that hot dog, and now the Panthers at 10 and the Cougars at 8. 5 more points for the Panthers, and that closes out the game. Closes out the series even. Lee with the first hit. Faith keeps that one alive. Shelby finishes off the play. Trying to get a hand on that one. Monica's not quite able to. And the Cougars at 9 now. 1 point is the only thing that separates these two teams apart from that net between them. Shot goes up and over. Juliana gets a hand on that one, but now the score is tied up 10 apiece. Cougars are hyped up like a hamster on Red Bull right now. Lexi with another service, hammers this one over. Juliana able to return that one. Abby with the first hit, goes up and over top the net. Katrina gets a hand on that one. Juliana with the secondary hit does get this one up and over. Lexi shows this one into the front line. Shelby not able to hit that one, goes up into the netting and comes back down. Hits her in the back, and even if they did save that, that's considered a double hit. Panthers now have a 1-point lead. 11-10 is the score. Here's Katrina with the service. Gets this one up and over. Lexi with the first hit. Sadie with the secondary, and the final hit made by Shelby, able to finish off the play. Clara with the first, Alyssa with the secondary, and Madison Bailey finishes off the play. Sadie, Aaliyah able to finish it off. Clara able to throw that one up and over, and by some chance, there's a miscommunication amongst the girls in green, and it goes down 12 for the Panthers and 10 for the Cougars. Timeout is called by the Mt.Carmel Cougars. These two teams, neither of them backing off. It's this final game of the match, or final game of the series, I should rather say. The Panthers do have a 2-point lead. They do have a little bit of comfort, but if they do relax, the Cougars will come back and make them pay for it. I believe that wholeheartedly. Both teams are definitely warming up as the games go on. Panthers had a very slow start, and that's why they're down, or that's why it's a 1-1 series now. I believe that the Panthers started off, if they had one match before, and if this was a best of 5, I believe the Panthers would probably take the best of 5 as these two teams are now at full capacity. Welcome back to the match. Here we go. Katrina with the service gets this one up and over. Sadie gets a hand on that one, but now the Panthers are at 13 as Sadie was not quite able to get that one up in the air enough for another player to get underneath it. Katrina served this one up and over. Lexi gets a hand on that one, throws that one up over top the net. Alyssa back over to Bailey. Bailey throws this one over into the back line. Too far out of bounds. Here it is now, an 11-13 game. Lexi, in the heat of the moment, forgot whose service it was, and so we'll have a little bit of break time. 13-11 is the score. Panthers are up 2 points from the Cougars. Abby's service is met by Monica. Aaliyah throws this one back over. Alyssa hits this one very close to the net. Monica able to finish it off. Faith with the first hit, Aaliyah with the secondary, and Faith comes down with a hammer. Keeping this one alive is Monica. Alyssa with the secondary hit. Here comes Clara with the hit over top the net. Abby diving for it, but not able to get underneath it. That was a very beautiful volley between these two teams. It's always great to see two skillful sides having an argument amongst one another. Match point for the Panthers. 14-11 is the score. Clara with the service. Lexi gets the first hit. Aaliyah with the secondary hit. Gets that one forward, but not enough. Shelby lets that one go, and the Panthers take the game 15-11. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the series. Coming up next will be the varsity game. I believe there's an 8-minute period between these two matches. So we'll just have a short intermission. Oh man, these two teams definitely great two matches to watch these two teams play. Quite even in skill. Had their back and forth moments. The Panthers lost one. Cougars also lost one. That third match was quite a great feat of the two skills. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll be right back with the varsity match. I would do an introduction, but I've been told that we have special guests to start us off here today.
We'll get started here. Great. Mt.Carmel Cougars, first of all. Number 45, Abby going, left field. Number 31, Hannah Hopper, left field. Megan Turnbull, number 23, left field. Ashley Hopper, number 45, fifth grader. Holly Morgan, number 4, fifth grader. Lexi Morgan, number 14, eighth grader. Faith Randier, number 3. Shelby Aberett, number 17. And then for our hometown team, Slippery Rock Panthers. We have Joe Over, 12th grader, number 1. Marie McHugh, number 11, 12th grader. 12th grader Hannah Good, number 14. Number 0, Megan Wilson, 12th grader. Martha Depew, 10th grader. Number 10. Number 12, Cassandra Eisler, 4th grader. And number 3, Elsa Armour, 5th grader. Give them all a hand.
I was told that was his first YouTube appearance. Welcome to the big leagues. We'll call it that for now. Looks like we're slowly getting ready to rock and roll between these two teams. Junior varsity games are quite excellent. Let's see how these varsity games do turn out. Looks like the Slippery Rock Panthers are missing 3 players, Cammie and Kylie Coleman, as well as Laura Hone. So they will be without 2 of their setters, as well as their libero. Let's see what, in fact, does play out here today. Looks like our line judges will be on the left. We have Jacob Good. He's getting pumped up. Don't let that face deceive you. Then we have Keith Eisler on the right. Summer DuPont will be refereeing this game for us. 2 teams show good sportsmanship. Little hand high five, low five, whatever you want to call it. Up high, down low, too slow? Perhaps. Referee will make sure everything is in order before the match does take off. It seems to me, if this does play out like the junior varsity games, whichever team does get their steam rolling before the other team does. Whoever gets the hot streak first does, in fact, win the match. Let's see if it does play out the same way in the varsity game, or if history will break itself rather than repeat itself. Panthers do have a few players filling in. I believe this is Megan's first match of the season. Then some of the Cougars are from the that have played in the junior varsity game. I will remember your names, but I will have to remember that 31's name is Hannah. And 23 is also Megan. All right. Looks like we're ready to rock and roll. Here's Martha DePue with the service for the Panthers. Service does go up and over. Receiving that one, Hannah getting this one forward. Aaliyah over to number 23, Turmoil, able to get that one up and over. Cassandra here comes, smacks that one over. Hannah able to get a hand on that one, but not able to control that one. The Panthers had an early 1-0 lead. Looks like Martha DePue is going to be serving this one up once again for the Panthers. Service does go up and over. Goes down to the ground, uncontested. Panthers now lead 2-0 in this game. Martha once again with the service. Does go up and over. Number 43 able to get a hand on that one. Does hit the ceiling. Comes down on the Cougar side. 3-0 is now the score. Here's Martha with another service for the Panthers. Goes up. Goes over. Down. And the call is inbounds. Holy smoke. Just by the overlap of the ball. Abby does dodge out of the way of that one. Panthers are now at 5. The Cougars still looking to get themselves on the board. I'm just kind of awestruck how that ball was in bounds. Hang on a second. Martha does go up. Almost hits Cassandra in the head. 4 points is the difference. Here's Hannah with the service for the Cougars. Service goes up and over. Diving for that one. Martha's able to save that one. Number 23 hits that one forward. Number 31 throwing this one back. Does step over the line in the process. Panthers do receive their 6th point of the match. Looks like Megan Wilson will take a service for the Panthers. Service goes up and over. Getting a hand on that one is number 23. Hannah able to get a hand on that one. Number 23, Megan able to throw that one over top the net. Out of bounds, but just barely. 7-1 is the score. Megan Wilson going to throw this one back over for the Panthers. Looks like Lexi's able to get a hand on that one. Cassandra misses the touch, and it is now Cougars with 2 points on the board, and the Panthers with 7. 5 points is separation. Sorry if the camera angle is a little shaky, if it's a little off. I'm doing this one-handed as I keep track of the scoreboard with my left hand. Abby there with the service, Hannah able to get this one forward. Marie back over to Cassandra, tips that one over top the net. Lexi able to send that one back over into the Panthers kitchen. Marie over to Cassandra. Cassandra dumps that one over. Down to the floorboard it goes. Cougars not able to respond to that. Service by Cassandra does go up and over. Megan's able to get there. Secondary by Hannah, and the third being by Lexi. Marie throwing this one into the middle. Jill slaps that one over for the Panthers. Hannah diving for that one, does hit that one over, but it is out of bounds. Panthers at 9, and the Cougars at 2. Panthers are starting to run away with the scoreboard. Mt.Carmel calls a timeout. Looks like these two teams are going head-to-head. They're giving it their all. They're out there trying their hardest. The Panthers are able to come out with a very nice lead to begin this one off, with a 7-point separation between them and the girls in green. think the Panthers or the Cougars' one mishap that is reoccurring as of right now is the miscommunication, where responsibilities aren't quite sure where they're clear cut. There's no line in the sand as of quite yet. Maybe the coach is there trying to straighten that out now. Maybe she's not. Maybe she has something else up her sleeve. So it looked to me, not to name names or anything, but Abby did dodge out of the way of one of the services. That being the first mistake. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, well, you know the saying. I don't. So I'm gonna trust you to know it. It looks like we're ready to get rocking and rolling back in the action. Jackson. Here's Cassandra with the service for the Panthers. Next year. All right, next year's coming a little bit early this time. Cassandra service does go up and over, diving for that one, or not diving for that one. Megan not able to get down underneath it. Panthers now hitting that 10-point marker. Service does go up and over, diving for that one. Lexi not able to get underneath that one. It is now 11-2. Okay. Here's Cassandra with the service for the Panthers. Gets this one up and over. Lexi able to get this forward. Lexi able to finish off the play. Cassandra there to keep that one up and alive. Marie sending this one over. Jill up against the net. If she would have went for that, she would have been in the net. So, I mean, what's the point? There's Megan Turnbull with the service for the Cougars. Hammers that one up and over. Megan able to get down with that one. Marie getting this one over to Hannah. Hannah pumps this one over top. Megan there to keep this one up and going. Hannah throws this one straight up in the air. Getting a hand on that one. Aaliyah able to keep this one up. Marie to Jill. Aaliyah throws this one back over into the kitchen of the Blue Girls. Goes down on the Panther side. Scores now 11 for the Panthers and 4 for the Cougars. Here's Megan Turnbull with the service. Just goes up and over. Hannah Good able to get this one up in the air. Marie dumps this one off. Down to the floorboards it goes. Good call by Marie. It is now 12 for the Panthers and 4 for the Cougars. It was Jill with the service. Service does go up and over. Getting a hand on that one. Hannah getting this one up in the air for Lexi. Lexi comes down with a hammer. Megan Wilson there to keep this one up in the air. Martha getting this one forward. Hannah Good able to throw this one over top the net. Aaliyah able to get this one over top. 43 with the secondary hit. Hannah able to throw this one back over top the net. Megan Wilson into the middle. Marie setting this one up. Martha comes down. Hits that into the netting. Goes down on the Panther side. Not able to get that one up across that bisector. I am sorry. I did not mean to hit that transition button. 12 for the Panthers and 5 for the Cougars. Aaliyah with the service. Cassandra able to get that one a little bit high. Hannah Good able to throw this one forward. Martha able to finish off that play. Hannah back to Megan. Throws that one over for the Cougars. Jill sends that one right back into the Cougars' kitchen. Aaliyah over to Hannah. Marie able to get a hand on that one. Or Hannah Good over to Marie. Here's Hannah from the Cougars sending this one over top. Megan Wilson dives, gets that one up over the net. Nice job. Megan throws this one, or Hannah throws this one over. Hannah receives that one. Aaliyah back over to Megan. Megan spikes this one over from the back line. Martha keeps this one alive. Hits that ceiling. Hannah able to get a hand on that one. Goes up, hits the top of the netting, and goes down on the Panther side. 6-12 is the score. Cougars are about as hyped up right now as a hamster hyped up on Red Bull. Here's Aaliyah with the service. Gets this one up over the top. Out of bounds. Good call by Wilson. 13 for the Panthers and 6 for the Cougars. Marie with a jump serve. Getting a hand on that one. Megan sending this one back for the Cougars, but is out of bounds. And the score is now 14 for the Panthers and 6 for the Cougars. I think I know numbers. I might have to go back to preschool. Jump serve by Marie. Getting a hand on that one is Megan, but not able to get a good handle on that one. Looks like it might have, the spiral from the ball may have, in fact, stoved her finger. Service by Marie. Sorry, but the camera's extraordinarily hot as of right now for whatever reason. Aaliyah back over to Hannah. Hannah comes down with a hammer. Able to keep this one alive is Cassandra. Marie gets this one up in the air. Megan Wilson spikes this one over top of the net. Getting a hand on that one is Megan. Megan not able to get that one to a playable position. Kind of mishit on that one. It is now 16 for the Panthers and 6 for the Cougars. 10 points separate these two teams. We're playing a best-of-5 series right now. And if it goes into a final Game 5, each team tied with 2 in the series, we will play to 15, best of first to win by 2. Lexi hammers that one over into the next county, thus being deemed out of bounds. 17 for the Panthers and 6 for the Cougars. Ruth, the service gets this one up and over. Abby able to get a hand on that one. Megan runs after that one, but the Cougars not able to keep that one up in the air. Timeout by Mt.Carmel. It is now an 18-6 game. Panthers leading by 12. Cougars just not able to gain traction with the Panthers' aggressive style of play. Seems like whenever the Panthers are at full strength, which they are not today, they're down 3 of their 6 starting lineup. Well, technically, we're down 4 of our 6 starting lineup, but the 4th one had issues with her wrist and decided to sit out indefinitely for the season. Panthers do have an aggressive style of play, as we've seen with the previous games inside of the preseason tournament. They did not back down no matter the score. They didn't play to get even, they played to win. And that seems to be a spirit that every team needs to have. Cougars are taking this time to get hyped up. Maybe blowing on the camera will help me out. It feels like it's 110 right now. Like there's a few singed marks on my hand. Looks like Marie's ready to get rocking and rolling back in this action. Jackson. There's Marie to serve this one up, slaps that one over top the net. Lexi's able to get a hand on that one, goes up and over. Hannah with the first hit, Marie with the secondary sends that one up for Hannah. Hannah comes down, jammers that one, but is out of bounds. 7-18 is the score on the scoreboard. Is that right? Are the Panthers at 18? Service by Ashley, goes up and over. Cassandra hits that one over to Jill. Jill throws this one into the front line. Megan Wilson with the final hit, able to bump this one up and over. Hannah there to throw that one into the middle. Aaliyah back over to Hannah. Hannah tips this one. Hannah blocks that one, though. Out of bounds, but just barely. The score up there says 18-8. The score on my screen says 17-8. Did I miss something? Who's to say? Jill throws this one forward. Marie sends this one into the middle. Martha hammers that one down. Getting a hand on that one is Megan. Not able to get it up into a playable position. 19 for the Panthers and 8 for the Cougars. We'll go with what it says up on top. Here's Hannah Good with the service. Up it goes. Megan able to throw this one back up. Does not clear the netting. Looks like Aaliyah does take a hand against the net. Does come in contact with it. Gets caught with her hand in the cookie jar. Panthers now at 20. Hannah with the service. Calls out of bounds. Good call by Jacob Good on the corner. Lexi with the service. Called out of bounds. It's now a 21-10 or 21-9 game, my bad. Martha service. Met by Shelby, getting this one into the front line. Aaliyah able to throw this one over. Called out of bounds. 22 for the Panthers and 9 for the Cougars in this first game of a best-of-5 series. Martha throws this one up and over. Lexi able to get the first hand on that one. Secondary hit by Hannah. Third hit going for that one is Abby. Hannah Good throwing this one forward. Up against. What a redeflection by Marie. Holy smoke. Keep breaking ankles with that kind of a hit. 23 for the Panthers and 9 for the Cougars. Looks like they're going to call Marie for touching the net. That's my guess of what the call, in fact, is. Cougars now at 10. Here's Martha throwing this one up. Marie getting this one over to Megan Wilson. Megan Wilson throwing this one over. Shelby throws this one right back over to the top of the net. Out of bounds is the call. Panthers now at 23 and the Cougars at 10. Megan with the service. Megan to receive that one. Hannah gets that one up. Final hit made by Aaliyah. Megan Wilson throwing this one into the middle. Marie setting this one back up. Cassandra throwing this one over top the net. Abby able to get a hand on that one. Goes up over top the net. Diving for that one. Jill keeps that one alive, but diving for that one as well is Hannah Good. Not able to get underneath that one. It is now 11 for the Cougars and 23 for the Panthers. Here's Abby with the service. Hannah Good diving for that one. Keeps that one alive. Marie throwing that one back to Cassandra, going down with that. Aaliyah able to keep that one alive. Hannah throwing that one over. Jill keeps that one alive. Marie with the secondary hit, and Martha throws that one up and over, but is called for the carry is Martha. 12 for the Cougars and 23 for the Panthers. Panthers 2 points away from closing out this first match. Here's the service by Abby. Gets this one up and over. Jill Coover giving this one forward. Marie back over to Cassandra. Cassandra tips this one over the top. Getting a hand on that one is Megan. Touching the net is Shelby. Panthers now at match point. Panthers at 24 and the Cougars at 12. Here's Hannah with the service, or Cassandra with the service, my bad. Goes forward and way overshoots that one by about 3-4 feet. Mustn't forget to update the scoreboard. I got you. Here's Megan Turnbull with the service. Line drives out one into the netting. It is now the end of the game. Panthers hitting 25 and the Cougars at 13. We'll be right back with game 2. Welcome back to game 2 in this best-of-5 series. Panthers are leading the series 1-0 as the last game. I've already forgotten the score. It was like, pretty sure it was 12-25, if not 13-25. Sorry, I did not mean to blow into the microphone. I forgot it was down there, actually. Looks like the referee is getting set. Here's Hannah Hoffer with the service. Gets this one up and over. Out of bounds is the call. Panthers at an early 1-0 lead. Looks like Martha DePue is going to be serving this one up for the Panthers. So she goes up and over. Getting a hand on that one is Lexi. Getting this one forward to the front line is Hannah. Megan with the finalization on that play. Cassandra getting a hand on this one for the Panthers. Megan Wilson throwing this one up and over top of the netting. Shelby lets that one go. Hits that line and is deemed in bounds. Panthers now have a 2-0 lead. Here's Martha DePue with another service. Meaning that one is Lexi. Hannah able to get this one Final hit made by Aaliyah. Hannah good with the first hit. Marie with the secondary, hits that heater. Jill Cougar able to throw this one over the top of the net. Hannah with the secondary. Aaliyah finishes off the play for the girls in green. Hannah good throwing this one to the front line. Marie throws this one for Cassandra. Cassandra hammers that one down into the floor, but Shelby says no way, Jose. Martha throws this one to the front line. Marie keeps this one alive. Hannah good able to finish off the play for the Panthers. Gets this one with the first hit is Lexi. Hannah Hoffer with the secondary. Hitting that one is Aaliyah. Martha diving for it, but not able to get a hand on that one. Now it is now a 2-1 game. The Cougars just cut the Panthers' lead in half. Here's Abby Bonney with the service. Gets this one up over top the net. Jill Cougar able to throw this one up and over. She'll be able to get a hand on that one. Megan with the secondary hit. Lexi not able to keep an eye on that one as she was kind of concerned about not smashing into her friend there. It's quite easy to lose sight of the ball whenever collisions are made like that. Here's Megan Wilson with the service. 3-1 is the score. Panthers are leading by 2. Megan getting a hand on that one. Hannah throwing this one back up for Megan. Megan with back line spike. Cassandra tries to block that one. Jill keeps that one alive. Cassandra one hand tips this one over. Inbounds is the call by Jacob. Panthers now have a 4-1 lead. 3 points is the difference. Megan's service goes up and over. Megan with the first hit. Hannah with the secondary. And the final hit made by Shelby over getting that one over. Martha forward to Marie. Marie throwing this one over to Jill. Jill hits this one over top the net. Megan sending that one right back. Hannah good to the front line. Marie setting this one up. Sandra throwing this one over the block. Shelby with the first. Hannah with the secondary. And the final hit made by Aaliyah. Throwing this one over out of bounds. Hannah good lets that one go. Good eye by Hannah. 5-1 is the score. Panthers are leading by 4. 5. Yeah, I already said the score. Never mind. I'm not going to blast that one into your ear. Here's Megan Wilson with another service. Gets this one up and over. Megan to Hannah. Back over to Megan. Megan tips this one over the block. Getting a hand on that one is Marie. Sending that one right back. Megan throws this one over the net. Jill Cougar over to the right side. Marie Depew getting this one forward. Cassandra tips this one over the block. It looks like Alexis throwing that one right back, or Aaliyah throwing that one right back. Marie somehow, some way, moved the net without touching it to get the ball over top the net. Unbelievable. That's quite a miraculous feat. Megan was with another service. Diving for that one. Megan Turnbull not able to get underneath that one. 7-1 is now the score. Panthers are leading by 6. Megan Wilson with another service, getting a hand on that one. Megan Turnbull over to Hoffer. Martha getting this one forward. Marie stepping over the line, not called for that one. Cassandra gets a hand on it, gets that one over. Once again, sends that one back into the kitchen. Hannah sending that one over to Leah. Martha gets a hand on that one, getting it to the front line. Marie Depew able to throw that one over top the net. Lexi forward to Hannah. Shelby throws that one over. Martha getting a hand on that one. Hannah good throwing this one forward into a playable position. Jill tries to throw that one over, but is out of bounds. 7 for the Panthers and 2 for the Cougars. Here's Megan Turnbull with the service. Met by Martha going forward. Marie back sets this one over to Cassandra. Cassandra tips this one over top the net. Aaliyah able to get a hand on that one. Goes up towards the net. Hannah's able to get that one and finish it off. Good. Throws this one forward to Marie. Sets up Cassandra. Cassandra tips that one over. Goes off Shelby and out of bounds it goes. Panthers now at an 8-2 lead. Good persistence and consistency from the Panthers side. Able to gain control. To kind of set the pace for the game. Cassandra with the service. Getting a hand on that one is Turnbull, but not able to keep it upward rather than forward. 9-2 is the score. Here's Cassandra with another service. Diving for that one. Megan Turnbull not able to get any help from her fellow teammates. 10-2 is the score. Cassandra with another service. Leah over to Lexi. Lexi scruffles that one up a little bit. Gives the Panthers an 11-2 score. Cassandra's service goes up and over. Abby able to get a hand on that one, sending that one back. Hannah good over to Marie. Marie throwing this one over to Jill. Jill Covert with a spike comes down with it. Turnbull throwing this one forward. Hoffer with a secondary. The final hit made. Out of bounds is the call from Jacob at that corner. Panthers have a lead. That is 12-2. Service made by Cassandra. One-handing that one back over the netting is Turnbull. Timeout by Mt.Carmel. The score as of right now is 13 for the Panthers and 2 for the Cougars. Seems like the Panthers are just grabbing the scoreboard and running away with it. Junior varsity games were much closer. That's the most obvious statement I've ever made in my life. Panthers' success, I believe, is by working as a team, not giving one person every job. But there is just about every person out there can do every job. They help each other out. They stick together as a team. It's not an individual sport. This isn't golf. It's not frisbee golf. Golf frisbee. I mean, I play golf frisbee golf, or whatever you call flinging a 9-iron into the woods. That's my favorite sport. It seems like the Cougars. There's a few of them that feel like they're part of the team. Then there's a few that stick out a little bit. They're a rough bunch, but they're part of the same group. Let's see if they pull it together. I believe they can. It's only the second out of a best of 5. No matter what, there's one more game after this. Looks like we're ready to get rocking and rolling. Gabriel Eisler with the service here. Gets this one up and going. Getting a hand on that one is Aaliyah. Not sure if it was going to be in or out. Decided to grab it and shake it all about. Scoreboard says 14-2. Is that correct? Or to take a look. And the scorebook keeper comes over. Check it out with Summer DuPont, the referee. Looks like we got it all situated out. Here's Cassandra with the service. Goes up and over, hits that netting, comes down, giving the Cougars their 3rd point of the match. Scoreboard says 14-3. All right, we'll go with that. All right, until that changes, that's what the score is going to be. I might have just missed the button press. If I did, I'm sorry. Aaliyah with the service, hits that netting, comes back down. 15-3. All right. Jill's service met by Turnbull, getting this one forward to Hoffer. Lexi able to spike that one. It goes into the backfield and out of bounds. Giving the Panthers the 16th point of the match. 16-3 is the score. Jill's service met by Abby, throwing this one up and over top the net. Here's Hannah Good with the first hit. Marie goes for that second tip, but Hoffer throws this one back quite close to the net. Very uncomfortable spot to play. Any ball, any position. It is now at 17 and 3 belongs to the Cougars. Here's Jill with the service, gets this one up and over. Megan to Hannah, hitting this one over is Lexi. Lexi throws this one over. Jill keeps this one alive. Marie keeps it going. Hannah Good throws this one over top the net, keeping this volley going. Shelby here with a spike, hits the netting, goes down to the ground. 18-3 is the score. Here's Jill with the service. Up and over it goes. Lexi gets the first hit. Hoffer able to finish off the play. Marie getting this one across. Martha Depew throws that one down, keeping it alive as it looked to be Aaliyah, but I could be mistaken. It might have been Turnbull. Jill's service is met by Turnbull, getting this one forward to Hoffer. Lexi with the final hit, able to left hand spike that one over, goes off Wilson as well as Martha. It goes out of bounds. 4 for the Cougars and 19 for the Panthers. Line judge Jacob Good able to go out and grab that one up. Show me with the service. Must not have heard the whistle. Cassandra with the first hit. Marie getting this one forward. Hannah Good with the spike, comes down with that one, goes off of Aaliyah. Megan returns that one. Holy smoke. Martha throws that one down. Hannah able to get a hand on that one, but Lexi not able to finish that one off. Holy smoke. What a return by Turnbull. That was quite incredible. Maria's service. Met up by Aaliyah. Lexis able to get that one up and over. Marie keeps this one alive. Megan Wilson spikes that one into the net. 20 for the Panthers and 5 for the Cougars. 15-point difference right now. Ashley's going to take a seat on the bench as Faith comes onto the court. Service by Lexi. Martha Depew able to get a hand on that one. Hannah Good sending this one right back into the middle. Martha calls that one off and gets that one over. Lexi able to get a hand on that one. Met by Hoffer. Up goes against the net. Tipping battle between Megan and Hannah. But they're going to call number 23 in green by touching the net. 21 for the Panthers and 5 for the Cougars. Here's Hannah Good with the service. Line drive is met by Faith. Secondary hit by Hoffer. Final hit by Turnbull. Spikes out one unconventionally and goes out of bounds. Sometimes the most unpredictable thing can be the most effective, but that time it seemed to be quite the opposite. Here's Hannah Good with the service. Service does go up and over. Faith goes off Faith and out of bounds it goes. 23 for the Panthers and 5 for the Cougars. Hannah Good with the service. Met up by Aaliyah. Hits that roof. Hoffer able to get a hand on that one. Abby goes for it, but not able to get down in time with it. Match point for the Panthers. 24-5 is the score. Cougars will have to make a tremendous comeback at this point in time to come back and tie it up and maybe win by 2. Lexi able to get a hand on that one. Faith with the secondary, and Megan Turnbull able to finish off that play. Hannah Good throwing this one forward. Marie able to get that second hit. Martha Depew throwing that one over. Faith with the first hit. Hoffer with the secondary. Final hit by Abby does hit that net and goes down and underneath that netting. 25-5 is the final score of this second game. Both teams fought well. Let's see what this third game of the match has in store for us right after this short break. We'll be back in about 2 minutes. Looks like between the games we did have a line judge substitution. Keith Eisler did kind of wander off, but Luke Good is here for us today. Luke, say hi. Nah, he's too cool to say hi. Jacob Good is still on the far side, as you can see there in red. Looks like we're ready to get rocking and rolling here in about 2 years. Don't worry, those 2 years will be pretty short. In fact, 2 years are up. Here's Martha DePue with the service. Gets this one up and over. Getting a hand on that one. Shelby able to get a hand. Lexi able to finish off that play. Here's Hannah Good throwing this one to the front line. Secondary hit by Marie. Final hit by Cougar, but not able to send that one home. The Cougars at an early 1-point lead. Here's Hannah Hoffer with the service. Gets this one up and over. Calls out of bounds. Panthers now have a 1-1 game on their hands. Looks like Megan Wilson's going to be the one serving it up for the Panthers. Getting this one up and over is Megan. Lexi able to get a hand on that one. Back setting over to Megan Turnbull. Megan Wilson. Marie dumping that one over top the block from Megan Turnbull. And it is now a 2-1 game in favor of the Panthers. Panthers do lead the series 2-0, as you can see on top of your screen. Megan Wilson with the service. Megan Turnbull over to Aaliyah. Backline spike from Lexi. Jill able to get one hand on that one. Marie setting this one forward, hitting that net. Cassandra not able to get a hand on that one without touching the net. It is now a 2-2 game. Serving this one up is Abby. Martha DePue throwing this one forward to Marie DePue. Jill Kubert with the spike over top the net. Here's Hoffer. Turnbull gets a hand on that one, but not able to make it an effective play. 2-3 is the score. Panthers in the lead. Sandra Eisler with the service. Goes line drive over. Lexi able to get a hand on that one. Marie. Over to Megan Wilson. Able to get that forward. Cassandra over to Marie. Hannah Good sends that one over. Turnbull over to Aaliyah. Turnbull able to send that one over. Jill getting this one across the court. Marie setting up. Hannah Good. Hannah Good spikes that one over the block. Getting a hand on that one is Hoffer. Not able to get it up in the air. 4 for the Panthers and 2 for the Cougars. Sandra Eisler with another service. Gets this one up and over. Getting a hand on that one is Hoffer. Goes into the crowd. Got to get that crowd interaction started up. There's no waves going. There's not too many chants in the crowd. I mean, you got to get them awake somehow. Sandra with another service. Goes out of bounds. Good call by just about the entire back line on the Cougar side. Here's Megan Turnbull with the service. She wants the cookies. Cassandra diving for that one. Not able to tame that beast. It's now 4-5. Panthers leading by 1. I think she noticed the giant glare from the fan that we have trying to suck all the hot air out. Cassandra leaves it go. Luke Good calls that one in bounds, and that ties it up at 5 apiece. Megan Turnbull with another service. Gets this one up and over. Cassandra throws that one over the top of the net. Lexi able to throw that one up and over. Hannah Good throwing that one back over top the net. Turnbull forward to Aaliyah. Lexi with a left-handed spike is not able to throw that one over top. It is now 6 for the Panthers and 5 for the Cougars. Here's Jill Kubert with the service. Gets this one up and over. Abby gets a hand on that one. Aaliyah. Shelby able to save this one out from the ruts. Martha over to Marie. Back over to Martha. Martha spikes this one down. Getting a hand on that one is Hoffer. Diving for it is Lexi, but not able to get down underneath it in time. But every girl out there looks like they're having fun right about now. That's the important thing. 6-5 or 7-5 is the score. Panthers leading by 2. Joe with the service gets this one is Abby. Aaliyah over to Lexi. Spikes that one a little too much mustard on that hot dog. 8-5 is now the score. Panthers are leading by 3. Service by Jill. Gets this one up and over. Getting a hand on that one is Hoffer. Sending that one back. Good. Throwing this one forward to Marie. Sending this one back up for Hannah Good. Spikes this one down. Clobbers the ball into the floor. I'm pretty sure there's a crater out there somewhere. Looks like Jill's going to serve this one up. Getting a hand on that one is Hoffer. Throwing this one back over the top. Martha Depew over to Marie. Marie tries to tip that one up, but Lexi not. The ball did land on the Cougars' side. Lexi did try to make a play on that one, but not able to make it an effective one as she touched the net. And even if she did, she touched the net. So therefore, it would be a Panther point. Here's Jill Kubert with service. Lexi able to get this one up. Aaliyah back over to Lexi. Diving for that one is Martha, but not able to get down there in time. It is now a 6-10 game. My bad. Referee calls someone for touching the net. I missed the call. My apologies. Jill with another service gets this one up and over. Lexi able to get a hand on that one. Ali. Martha with the first hit. Marie back over to Martha. Martha spikes that one down. Diving for that one is Hoffer, but not able to get a hand on that. 12-5 is now the score. Timeout by the Cougars. Aaliyah. Yeah. That's how it's spelled on my paper. That's what I'm going to go with. Well, I got a minute to fill. Let's see what I can come up with. Do we have entertainment? No? Okay. Well, it seems to me that the Panthers are once again starting to take the lead from the Cougars. The cause of this might just be, it's not always the higher skilled team that wins. It's the one that's most prepared. That's one thing that my coach drilled into our heads as we played football. I mean, it is very true. You could be a worse team, you could be slower, you could be shorter, but you could be more prepared. You could have a higher stamina, you could go longer, and that might actually bring you out on top. Looks like we're ready to get rocking and rolling in this 12-5 game. Here's Jill Kubert with the service. Gets this one up and over. Lexi throwing this one into the middle. Aaliyah smacks that one back over. Jill getting a hand on that one. Spiking this one back over is Lexi. Megan Wilson throws this one into the crowd. Martha wanted it, but not wanted it bad enough to get to leave her face on the ground. Let's just put it that way. 12-6 is the score. It is leading by 6. Here's Aaliyah with the service. Getting a hand on that one is Cassandra Miss Depew, able to throw that one up and over. Lexi with a hand on that one. Hoffer with the secondary. Final hit by Turnbull, able to finish off that play. Cassandra handling that one. Marie over to Hannah Good. Hannah Good hammers that one down, goes off a block. Goes off of Aaliyah as well as Hoffer. Hoffer now able to deflect that one up over top the net. Very, very nice try to dig above ground. Marie's service met by Turnbull over to Hoffer. She'll be able to throw this one up and over. Cassandra throwing this one over. Marie back setting this one over to Martha. Martha throws that one out of bounds, sadly enough. 13-7 is the score. What buttons do I press? I'm going brain dead the longer I'm up here. She'll be here with the service. Service does go up and over. Jill able to throw this one forward. Good throwing this one into the mix of things. Martha able to throw this one up and over. Shelby goes off of Lexi. Hoffer swings at that one but misses. 14 for the Panthers and 7 for the Cougars. Looks like Hannah Good wants to serve this one up for the Panthers. Service does go up and over. Shelby diving for that one, able to keep that one alive. Good throwing this one forward. Marie with a secondary hit. Over to Wilson it goes. Tips that one over top the net. Call is out of bounds. 8 for the Cougars. 14 for the Panthers. Substitution for the Cougars. Looks like Faith is going to substitute in. Shelby's going to take a seat on the bench. Service from Lexi. Hits that net, goes down onto the floor. 15 for the Panthers. 8 for the Cougars. Here's Martha Depew with the service. Service goes up and over. Out of bounds is the call. 9 for the Cougars. 15 for the Panthers. Here's Hannah Hoffer with the service. Head up by Cassandra. Marie able to finish that one off. Turnbull able to get a hand on that one. Aaliyah with the secondary, but not be able to keep that one in bounds with the one-arm swing that she had. 16-9 is the score. Megan Wilson with the service. Sorry, I was adjusting the scoreboard. It's very difficult. Depew getting this one up. Cassandra tips that one over the block, and down to the floor it goes, where nobody was ready for it. 17 for the Panthers now, 9 for the Cougars on this third game of play. If the Panthers do win this one, it'll be end of the series. If the Cougars win this one, we'll play another game. Lexi able to throw this one up and over. Covert able to keep that one alive. Cassandra throwing this one over top the netting. Cassandra tips this one back over. Down to the floorboard it goes, giving the Panthers their 18th point of the match. 18-9 is now the score. Megan Wilson with the service. Turnbull wants this one, so she tips it over top the net. Martha over to Marie. Marie sending this one up. Jill spikes that one over. Goes off a few hands. Turnbull keeps it alive. Megan Wilson throwing this one into the middle. Marie with a hand on that one. Cassandra tips that one over the block. Abby able to keep that one alive. Cassandra tips that one over once again. Abby gets a hand on that one. Called for the double hit. 19 for the Panthers. 9 for the Cougars. What a dig by Turnbull. Holy smoke. Megan Wilson throwing this one up and over. Here's Lexi throwing this one into the middle. Yeah, able to throw that one up and over. Hannah Good decides to leave that one go down, and it is out of bounds. 20 for the Panthers, 9 for the Cougars. Megan Wilson with the service. Getting a hand on that one is Leah, but not able to send that one up and over. Looks like she slipped up a little bit, maybe twisted her ankle. She's favoring that left foot. Timeout by Mt.Carmel. Score is 21-9. Panthers leading. I feel like I've said just about everything I can. Seems to me Mt.Carmel just out there to have fun, which is just about anything a team could really want to go out there and play. When I played baseball, that was really our only focus. Because, well, we weren't a good team. I'll just say that. We went out there, had a great time. Some of my favorite memories are from baseball. I don't remember ever winning a game, so it's not always winning stories that are the best. It's always the most interesting, like Turnbull's dig, not that long ago. If I could throw up a replay, I totally would. Buzzer sounding, letting us know it's time to resume play. 21 for the Panthers and 9 for the Cougars. It's the final match. It could be the final match. Hartford tries to get a hand on that one. Abby steps out of the way. 22 for the Panthers now. Wait, what? Scoreboard says 22-9, so that's what we're going to go with. Wilson sending this one over. Turnbull able to get a hand on that one. Tipping that one over is Aaliyah, scoring for the Cougars. Giving the Cougars their 10th point of the match. Scoreboard says 22-10 is the score, so that's what we're going with. Service by Abby. Getting a hand on that one is Martha. Getting this one over to Marie. Marie setting this one back up for Jill. Jill spikes that one over top the netting. Hoffer able to get a hand on that one. Getting this one back. Hoffer spikes this one down. Megan Wilson throwing this one to the front line. Marie over to Cassandra. Tips that one over. Abby able to defend that one. Cassandra tips this one over back once more. Getting called for the carry is Faith. 23 for the Panthers and 10 for the Cougars. I'm realizing I watch the screen of the camera like 2% of the time. Everything's by luck on the screen. Going off of Lexus and out of bounds it goes. Match point for the Panthers. Cougars need to make up another 14 points to get a shot at 1-2. Cassandra serves this one up. It is now an 11-24 game. There's a service from Turnbull. Getting a hit on that one. Cassandra throwing that into the kitchen. Spiking that one down. Martha keeps that one alive. Marie setting this one up on top of the net. Spiking this one over Aaliyah. Jill keeps this one going. Marie over to Jill. Jill spikes this one over. Out of bounds. It goes. 12 for the Cougars and 24 for the Panthers. Oh, they got some steam rolling. Let's see if the train keeps going. Megan Wilson getting a hand on that one. Hannah Good throwing this one into the middle. Jill able to finish off the play. Goes up over. Faith able to get a hand on that one. Goes across the court. Punching that one over the top of the net is Aaliyah. Marie setting this one back over to Hannah. Hannah comes out with a hammer. Diving for that one. Hoffer not able to get a hand on that one. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the match. 25-12. These two teams really put on a show for us tonight. Both the junior varsity and the varsity team playing excellent matches. Very nice volleys between each team. Not either team really sticks out above the other in skill. A lot of this has to do with the coaches, how they practice, how they play. You play as you practice, so those that have a harder training system during practice may actually come out on top during matches. Maybe that's the reason, maybe that's not. That could be a qualifying factor in any sport. I'd like to thank you all for thank you all for tuning in, and I will see all of you on the next broadcast. I bid you a farewell.